Hello and welcome to the third episode of Serial Trash Talking. We are your hosts, David and Rob, and we're just two fun-loving accountants who absolutely love cereal and the hottest topics in sport. Tonight we're going to be talking about Super Bowl 55 because that's what's coming up, and I'm going to
Oh,
be
you
eating
beauty.
a delicious bowl of honey-made s'mores as we go. Now there has been some talk for what about your other cereals? Well, what I need you to do is turn on your notifications because next week when we do our Super Bowl review, we will be also reviewing the wonderful Lucky Charms Frosted Flakes cereal.
Woo! I
So
can't wait
smash
for
that
this
like
myself,
button,
dear.
smash the subscribe, and turn on your notifications, and we will make sure it's a doozy for you. So Rob, what are we talking about tonight?
Thanks, DA. It's great to be back. Thanks to the fans for providing all their feedback as well as always. Well, DA, I'd love to join you on that bowl of smalls, but clearly my box is empty now because you've got me into them. You got me locked in. Episode 1, 2, and the days in between, mate. I couldn't get enough. So anybody, get out there and try your smalls now. So I'll just happily watch you, mate. Now, DA, Super Bowl 55 is just around the corner. We're days away. So we need to have some nice lead up into it. So tonight we're going to talk about the four key matchups, or the four key matchups that we see are going to be the most important for this Super Bowl. The first one is Mahomes Brady. The second is Tyreek Hill versus Mike Evans. The third will be Travis Kelce versus Chris Godwin. And we cannot go without mentioning Gronkowski as well, because he is just larger than life. And the fourth, we're going to talk about the defenses. All right, DA, lead us off with Brady. What do you have in store for us?
Well, I think we have an exciting matchup coming up. Brady's the undisputed GOAT, and he's the undisputed GOAT for a reason. This season, he's throwing the most touchdowns he has since 2007 in the regular season. Back in 2007, he threw 50, and we all know where that season ended up. A heartbreaking loss to the Giants in the Super Bowl. He will not repeat it because he does not make mistakes twice. He has thrown the most interceptions since 2011 with 12. But I mean, I think the excuse for that is he's been getting used to a new system. He's got new receivers that he's throwing to. But he still managed to complete 64% of his passes in 2020. He is loaded with weapons. I mean, he's chancing his arm. He's throwing it downfield. And it wasn't something we necessarily saw a lot from him in the Patriots. It was always quick fire. It was always get the ball out quickly and move the chains. But, I mean, we've seen him throw more than 20 yards down the field on numerous occasions this season. And for most of those opportunities, he's taken and he's converted. So, yeah, I mean, he's got the mental game as well. He's got the decision making. Brady's going to win this matchup, in my opinion. I mean, you're arguing for Mahomes, so let's see what this baby goat is, as you like to refer to him as.
Well, mate, you've already said it. He's the baby goat. He's coming. I've heard enough about this old boy. Like, the old boy's got to learn some new tricks, mate. Come on now. We know enough about Brady, new system, all of that. But Mahomes is the future. Mahomes just signed a 10-year contract. He's the future of the NFL. Just some 2020 stats is right there for you, mate. He's the second most yards. He had the second most yards in the season. The only reason he wasn't number one is because he had the last game off. Don't worry about it. His team's done enough. He's done enough. He's had the fourth most TDs for the season, and he's also had the second highest QBR rating. And this brother was barely breaking a sweat.
I mean, he's almost comparable to Peyton Manning, who won how many Super Bowls in his time with the Colts.
Just to reiterate with Patrick Mahomes, his career record is 38-8. Just let that sink in just a little bit. Just a tiny little bit, mate. And in his last 26 games, he's 25-1. Oh, mate, I thought I wrote that down wrong. I think I'm still saying it wrong. But I'm just making sure that you hear that, okay? The most important thing about Mahomes, though, is he can make all the throws. Overarm, underarm, sidearm, crossbody. Doesn't matter, mate. The whole Andy Reid playbook is opened up because of what this brother can do. Not to mention he's got fantastic vision, awareness in the pocket, and great feet to get away. Don't even worry about it. The matchup isn't going to be one with Brady, mate. It's going to be one with Mahomes.
Right. So, Rob, another matchup that we're going to take a look at now is Tyreek Hill versus Mike Evans. Tell me about Tyreek Hill.
Well, DA, one of the most interesting things I found out about Tyreek Hill was he's 1.78 meters tall. He's about 83 kilos. So basically, me and him are the same stats mates. So, and I'm going to find some speed one of these days. So we're going to go from there. he's had the second most touchdowns this season. He's had the 8th most yards. And he's got to spread his talents around, obviously a high-powered offense, but to get that many touchdowns and that many yards when he's got to share with bad brothers like Travis Kelce and the rest of it, I think that is absolutely exceptional. The most important thing about Tyreek Hill, though, is his nickname. His nickname is the Cheetah. It isn't because he's got Olympic speed. It's because when he's matched up against any defensive back there is, mate, he's gone that quickly. They think he is cheating, brother. That's how good he is. He's going to break down defenses. He finds pockets. You're going to two-man him. You can do whatever you like, but that brother is always open. You give me what Evans has. It's up to you. Or you can take a pause break if you wish.
Yeah, you can't dispute what Tyreek Hill has done this season, and in seasons past, he is an absolute game changer. What I will say about Mike Evans, though, is that he's a real leader in that team. He's a nasty dude who's not afraid to throw his body weight in there. He's had 8,000 career yards and 61 touchdowns in 6 years. I mean, that's great production, especially when you've got Jameis Winston throwing to you. Now you've got the GOAT, and he's probably been more effective this season. And I would even say more clutch this season, even if the stats don't necessarily single it. He's Brady's go-to man. As we now move into Travis Kelce versus Chris Godwin, like I think the thing about Godwin and even about Mike Evans is this season they've been real clutch. I mean, they haven't had the ball. They haven't had the number of receptions that they would normally have because there's been more offensive weapons out there. But when they've been called upon, they've turned up. And especially Godwin against the Packers, I mean, he's made some critical
drops.
Hey. He made some absolutely critical catches on third down.
He did.
To get those changed.
The only thing, because I'm going to lend a little bit of support to you as well. And I would hazard to say, if he didn't make that catch against Green Bay, that third down completion, then the Bucs would have probably lost that game. So the way that he came back, he had a big drop in that game. TB12 didn't give up on him. And he made a clutch third down play. It must have been 3rd and 15, and then he made it for about 17, 18 yards. Yeah. So that was huge. But enough of Godwin, because the big dog's coming to eat. And the big dog, I mean Travis Kelce. He stands at 1.96 meters tall, 117 kilos, 31 years of age, coming. Basically, he's prime beef, and he's ready to roll. He's full of confidence. He's dangerous. He's a bad man. A few stats for the season. He's had the 5th most receptions. He's had the 2nd most yards, 5th most touchdowns. He's got a 72.4 catch percentage. Like, this brother is big time. He's had 6,000 yard seasons. And just for your information, DA, the next closest tight end's had 4. So I know you gotta take that, eat that up. And you know what? It just gets better, because in the playoffs, he's had 500-yard games. You know what? That's an actual record. So he's had the most 100-yard games in playoffs. Just to reiterate. But besides the stats, because he dominates the stats books, it's what he does off the ball. His run blocking ability, his creating lanes and running routes in the middle of the field to open up other receivers. It gives Patrick, or AKA Baby Goat, plenty of opportunities to seek him out. He's because he's Pat's favorite target. He's big on third down, and who else would you want to go to? So
you are doing a disservice to the term GOAT when you refer to Patrick Mahomes as a baby GOAT.
It's only a baby, mate. It's only a baby. There's plenty of time to go. Only a baby.
But Rob, you cannot have a party without the party man himself, Rob Gronkowski. And I mean, he comes up clutch in those Super Bowl games. We've seen it before. We saw it against the Rams only a few years ago, catching that beautiful floater from Tom Brady to set up that game-winning touchdown. I mean, yes, he hasn't been possibly as effective this season as he was in past years, but that man comes up clutch. and he is a force to be reckoned with.
Agreed. His tape's too good not to deny him. I've got a Chiefs hat ready to go for, he can start the party in Chiefs colours. So we'll be ready for him, mate.
So
I'm glad you brought him up, the legend.
Yeah. So I think lastly, we just need to touch on the defense. So, I mean, this is going to be where the game's won and lost. If I'm being completely honest, that's what I think it comes down to. And the reason why the Bucs win this game is because the Bucs have the form defense. They came up strong against the Packers. In particular, JPP with his 9.5 sacks in the regular season. He absolutely dominated against Green Bay. He didn't have any sacks previously against the Chiefs in that Week 12 game, but he did have 7 pressures. I think that's going to be the key. It's getting to Patrick Mahomes, and that's why a guy like Devin White, his speed and athleticism will be a game changer. So I'm saying Bucs. Got this.
Not bad. It's not bad. It's good that they finally got it together. Yeah. After the Chiefs did torch them, mate. So don't worry about it. So now we're going to talk about the Chiefs defense, and 2 people stand out for me. It's Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator, aka Tom Brady whisperer. We already know, mate.
Just keep going. Okay. Just keep going.
If anybody doesn't know who Steve was, he was the New York Giants defensive coordinator when they played in the 2007 Super Bowl. Pats were currently 16-0. Tom Brady quarterbacking. It's basically all said and done. Get to the Super Bowl, collect the ring.
But Steve Spagnuolo was there. To bring me some more serious.
But Steve Spagnuolo, the old Tom Brady whisperer, was there, and he just cancelled the party. So that's what's going to happen. What they did have in that Week 8 contest for Steve Spagnuolo, though, was there's a clear game plan. And the clear game plan was blitz all night. In the beginning, at the end, and in the middle. He blitzed on 48% of all those, of every defensive snap that they played. And it's largely because if you get pressure on TB, the GOAT, then he was actually ranked, 32nd in the league for being under pressure and creating, incompleting passes and things of that nature. So the key to disrupting the Bucs is to bring pressure, and that's what the Chiefs do, and that's what they've done plenty of time. So Steve Spagnuolo, bring plenty of pressure. Second is Tyrann Mathieu. Now this brother can ball out. He's got a highlight reel that'll make anybody proud. He's the defensive on-field general for Spagnuolo. He's a Mr. Do everything, every play defender, and he's a master at locating the football. So it's a master at locating the football, disrupting plays, and taking picks. So if you're not a defensive-minded person, please keep an eye out for Tyrann Mathieu, because he's going to make plays. So you better be ready.
The Honey Badger.
Oh, what a name. What a name.
So, look, that's our episode for this evening. As always, thank you for joining in with us. My Super Bowl prediction is the Bucs by less than a touchdown. Rob, what's your prediction for the game?
I know in episode 1, I put my head with the Chiefs and my heart with the Bucs, and I went Bucs 42-37. But after this discussion on heads and seeing the stats, it ain't even going to be close. It's going to be Chiefs all day, baby. And we're gonna go. It's going to be high scoring, because as even we talked about these defenses, as good as they are and as where the game's going to be won, there's still going to be a lot of points out there. The quality on the offensive side, there's still going to be a lot of points. So I was still happy. Right. It's going to be 45-38. 45-38 to the Chiefs.
Okay. Well, look, thank you. I mean, they did say that Rams-Patriots Super Bowl was going to be a massive score, and it was the lowest scoring Super Bowl we'd seen in years.
Yeah.
So you're wrong.
I don't think we talk about that Super Bowl, because you couldn't get through it. It's too tough.
Remind me who won that? Oh, that's right. Brady got his 6th. So those are our thoughts on the key matchups in Super Bowl 55. Rob and I just want to say thank you for watching these videos. Continue to like and subscribe, and turn on that notification button so you can see when the next episode is dropping, which will be a review of these beautiful Frosted Flake Lucky Charms. We'll be unpacking the Super Bowl 55 in the next episode. But comment in the section below, who do you think is going to win? Is it going to be the Bucs or is it going to be the Chiefs? And also tell us who won this debate. Was it Rob? Was it me? And tell them how disrespectful he is about this baby goat situation. But from Rob and I, thank you so much for watching, and we will speak to you soon.